Just imagine these two guys walking into a bar or a club. Who do you think will slay the most? If anyone chose guy 1, please go visit a psychiatrist. Jason Momoa is taller, wider framed, has more muscle mass, and exhibits higher levels of masculinity, maturity, and danger because of tats, scars, etc. In other words, he oozes sex appeal from head to toe. Guys like Jason Momoa and Louis Allen III are the guys your girl cheats with. These guys trigger the raw, primal sexual urges in women. Not only will they make her orgasm 100 times, but they will also beat the absolute shit out of anyone just like Jordan Barrett. I am Max, and in this video, we will take a look at the science behind sexual attractiveness and how maxing out certain features will make you irresistible to women. It's over, unless you look like you belong on the cover of a woman's romance novel. In the 80s and 90s, romance novels allowed women to play out their fantasies without having to go through the risk in real life. Of course, in today's degenerate world, they can actually do it and not only get away with it, but have men who have fetishes of being cuckolds. They love the bare-chested, muscular guy with a chiseled face and long, luscious hair. However, when a woman leaves through these lusty novels, she can safely play out her fantasies in her mind without the risk. But under all that conditioning, there is a burning desire that emerged from the beginning of time. In the days of cavemen, Greek gods, and Vikings, the woman wasn't looking for a man who mowed the lawn, paid the bills, or played video games and fantasy football. Notice how all of these men have something in common. Dark hair, designer stubble, tan, muscles, tattoos, scars, good height, voice, etc., etc. They all have high sex appeal. Sexual attraction is not the only type of physical attraction, and aesthetic attraction is not the same as sexual attraction. Aesthetic attraction is something that is associated with strictly an appreciation for one's appearance. Wow, that guy has a great jawline. That's aesthetically appealing to her. It's not. Wow, that guy is so hot. I want to jump in bed with him and rip off his clothes right fucking now. The latter is what I would refer to as sexual. The low-pitched voices signal large body size, which is sexually dimorphic, attract more women, father more children, intimidate other men, and command respect from other men. Men with deep voices are also much more likely to have more children than men who do not have deep voices. The research team interviewed 52 women and 49 men from the tribe aged 18 to 55. When the recordings were studied, it was found that the deep-voiced men had fathered more children than the non-deep-voiced men. The man with the deepest voice had 10 surviving children, while the one with the highest-pitched voice only had 3. Researchers suggest that the men with the lower-pitched voices possibly had higher testosterone levels, which attracted them more to females and made them more attractive to them. A male voice sounded attractive when it was low-pitched and with densely distributed formants, both of which signal a large body size.
So, tell me the truth. Does my voice do anything to you?
Yeah, I'm kind of giggling.
Here. And you can put your number in.
Okay.
People say I'm like Will Smith. Have you ever seen Hitch?
Yeah, I've seen Hitch.
Well, they say my name is like Switch because I can turn girls on with my voice. I'm kind of imagining myself making out with a big sheet of hair right now. So I'm going to give you my phone, and I want you to put your number in. So what do you think about my voice?
It's very deep. I like your voice. Your voice is pretty soothing.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's low.
Is it sexy?
Maybe a little bit.
So question, when you first heard my voice, what did you think?
I love your voice a lot.
You love it a lot, wow.
I love it. It's really deep and hot.
This video basically backs up that this study says because some of the women mentally visualize a much larger person based on hearing his voice alone.
What did you expect when you heard the voice? What did you see?
Expecting you to be a little taller.
A little taller?
I figured you'd be like a big dude.
Oh, you're calling me small now. I'm not big
No,
enough
not
for you.
calling you small. I was expecting like a football player size.
Researchers found that men with low-pitched voices were more likely to attract women, even though they're seen as being riskier when it comes to monogamy. They found that men with higher testosterone levels and lower levels of cortisol generally had deeper voices. That hormone signature has previously been associated with healthy immune function. So to some degree, deep voices seem to serve as a kind of evolutionary marker for good health.
What type of voice do you like on a man?
Something deep with an international accent. I quite like a deep voice, but he needs to be quite intelligent, like very posh sounding, heavy, strong, something that I feel like will be able to protect me and stand out in a crowd, but also something at the same time that has a bit of value and depth to it. I thought about this a lot before, in case you can tell, but yeah.
Deep voice. I would say, so quite a deep voice is probably quite attractive.
Deep voice? Probably a deeper kind of sultry voice.
Okay, deep and sultry. Is that kind of a more manly voice, would you say?
Yes, definitely.
A deep, husky voice. Okay, nice. Is there any type of voice you don't like on a man?
A high-pitched voice, but only on David Beckham. I quite like deep voices.
I like a deep voice,
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, I think it makes me feel comfortable.
Kind of deep voice. I like more like a bass, kind of a very low voice, but still soft.
Definitely deep.
I like a deep voice.
A strong, arrogant voice.
Always clear your throat. Take a deep breath and swallow your spit before talking. Speaking from your diaphragm instead of your throat. And if you are still in puberty, make sure you maintain high amounts of testosterone. Relaxing your vocal cords lowers the pitch of your voice. This is why your voice is usually deeper when you wake up in the morning. Mint pastils help to relax throat muscles and open up the vocal tract, increasing the resonance of your voice and making your voice temporarily deeper. Start making sounds over and over in a controlled manner, which also relaxes your vocal cords. Though not recommended, primal screaming and smoking cigarettes over time can deepen your voice by causing swelling in the vocal cords, which lowers the pitch. Typical male voices range in pitch from 85 Hz to 180 Hz, with 96 Hz and lower being the most attractive voice depth. Surgery, though not recommended, is a viable option for those with neotomous levels of voice range. Facial hair is a sexual dimorphic trait that makes men look more attractive. These pics are examples of peak sex appeal. It isn't clean shaven like a prepubescent boy. Neither is it a full-on lumberjack beard that could be hiding facial fat or a weak lower third. This is the best of both worlds. A chiseled jawline covered in a layer of stubble, just so much that they can still see your jawline, and the ability to grow facial hair equals masculinity and sexiness. In a study, facial hair with a heavy stubble was shown as being most attractive, followed by light stubble. Stubble was judged as most attractive overall and received higher ratings for a short-term relationship. The short stubble beard is considered the #1 most attractive facial hair. You can find hundreds of videos on YouTube on how to trim/shave to get this perfect stubble. Look. Minoxidil and derma rolling are viable options for those who can't grow facial hair. I'd recommend beard transplant to those who can't get results with minoxidil and derma rolling.
Applicant A. John Williamson is 5'6", or 5'5" rather. He weighs 150 pounds, has blonde hair, green eyes, an MBA from Harvard, and average work experience. Now let's take a look at applicant B. William Johnson is a 6-foot male, weighing 175 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, MBA from Stanford, and also average work experience. Now, based on these facts alone, make the quick decision. Which would you hire? Can I get a show of hands for applicant A? Show of hands for applicant B? Right, so by the overwhelming majority, for those of you who chose William Johnson, you're in agreement with numerous hiring boards across the globe. But do we know why? We can give most credit to the cliche, tall, dark, and handsome.
Hair color is important and rather underrated. When women say the dark in tall, dark, and handsome, they are referring to men who appear to be dark triad, due to dark hair/features. They are referring to these guys, not these guys. Specifically, the light blonde hair color is a failure for men. The light blonde or ginger color is weak, submissive, and feminine looking. Fortunately, the solution is cheap and simple. Just dye your hair darker or black. After meeting a woman's looks requirements, a dark triad personality could be considered the cherry on top. In this study, the results revealed that the woman rated men with tattoos as healthier, more masculine, dominant, and aggressive. The research said that women thought tatted men were not good long-term partners because it made them look like they have bad boy appeal, which is very good for short-term flings and slaying. It's because tatted men stood out as the stereotypical vision of the machismo man. The researchers concluded that when a man gets inked, that tattoo does two things. It attracts the ladies by exuding an air of health and masculinity, and it intimidates other men because men with tattoos simply look like alpha males. Tattoos make you look hotter to women, and it clears away rivals, so you just have a better chance of getting laid. Think about it. If you emerge from a tattoo unscathed, you just survived a wound. This means, by definition, that you are a man who is of above average health and immunocompetence. Piercing the skin exposes the recipient of a tattoo to infection, and only those with the strongest immune systems can come through the process with their health intact. Think of tattoos as the icing on the cake. Visible lean muscle mass plus tattoos equals bad boy look and increased sex appeal. Never do tattoos on your face, neck, butt, rear end, ankles, and fingers. Never do tattoos of your girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, family, or fraternity. Tattoos on full sleeve arm, forehead, back, underside of wrist, chest, and calves are perfect for mass appeal.
Crazy. Wow, what are they feeding you guys out there? For to get that height, the
corn,
jaw,
baby.
and the face? Wow, so it's so funny because on your
If you got a scar from a fight, accident, or illness, it does not mean it is a flaw that will lower your SMV or sexual market value. However, making a scar on your skin if you don't have any is not recommended. This study shows men with mild facial scars were typically ranked as more attractive by women who were looking for a short-term relationship/flings. Scarred men ranked 5.7% points higher in the appeal rating than those with undamaged skin. Scarring is seen as a result of a violent encounter. It signifies strength or bravery in a guy, or it could be due to an accident, and so is evidence of a risk-taking personality. They find it to be a symbol of masculinity, a feature that is linked to high testosterone levels, and an indicator of good generic qualities that can be passed on to offspring. Men without scars are more likely to be seen as caring, cautious, conscientious, and therefore more suitable for long-term relationships, whereas men with scars project a rugged bad boy vibe that is irresistible in the context of a no-strings-attached fling. They are unconsciously viewed as a sign of strength, bravery, or an adventurous, risk-taking personality. Call it the James Bond effect. Dangerous and probably doomed, but seductive nonetheless. Get slits in your eyebrows similar to what Jason Momoa has. Well, his is an actual scar. An eyebrow slit can help mimic a scar.
Hi, this is Stacey Thompson here with Flex Magazine. I am actually with the winner of the 202 British Grand Prix, Flex Lewis. We know that we have been waiting for you to get back on stage for 18 months now. What does this sweet victory and well-earned victory mean to you at this very, very moment? At this very, very moment.
I was crying on stage. I've been crying off stage. I don't want to cry again. But it's been a long road.
Wait a minute.
Muscle mass and size are one of the biggest indicators of dimorphism, health, and fitness. These physiques are nearly ideal for all women. Extreme bodybuilder physique and thin twig physique only have niche appeal. These bodies are good for both attraction and intimidation. Gaining lean muscle mass is crucial for improving sex appeal. I think everyone knows by now that muscles are attractive, sexually dimorphic, and help to give the full package effect. Follow good fitness YouTube channels like Def Nippard, Greg Doucette, Jeffrey Verity Schofield, Sean Eloange, and More Plates, More Dates. These are my personal favorites. Neck training is essential as it helps make the face more balanced and masculine. It makes you look high T and can help strengthen the visual appearance of your lower third. Training the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles is what makes the neck thicker. SWR, shoulder to waist ratio, greater than 1.6, ideally 1.8 to 2. SHR, shoulder to hip ratio, greater than 1.4. WHR, waist to hip ratio, greater than 0.8, ideally 0.9 to 1, are ideal ratios for men. Having broad shoulders and narrow hips gives the Superman-like V taper. A man having good SHR/SWR is similar to a woman having good WHR. It is very sexually attractive and dimorphic. This study shows males with high SHR and females with low WHR reported sexual intercourse at an earlier age, more sexual partners, more extra pair copulations, EPC, and having engaged in more instances of intercourse with people who were involved in another relationship, i.e. having themselves been EPC partners. The key to having good broad square shoulders is having a wide scapula plus long and straight clavicles. However, not everyone is blessed with good genetics. Specifically, target the back, delts, and chest in your gym routine. Refrain from overtraining traps as they can give your shoulders a sloped appearance. Using shoulder pads under your shirts is a viable option for men with really poor genetics. Padded undershirts are a good option for winters and should be worn under a shirt or sweatshirt and can be used for aesthetic purposes to accentuate the pectorals, shoulders, biceps, and triceps. Can give around half an inch to an inch increase on each side. These types of t-shirts will draw attention to your shoulders because of their unique sleeves that leave a diagonal seam from the underarm to the collarbone. Oxford shirts are pieces with structured fabrics that have a certain weight and tend to fall better than thin, clingy materials. Always wear a compression undershirt if you have belly fat or man boobs. I'd recommend clavicle lengthening surgery since the risk to reward ratio is too high. Undergoing surgery for an inch of clavicle lengthening is stupidity since you can gain much more by going to the gym regularly. Height is not only crucial in attraction, but intimidation and domination as well. Good frame combined with good height equals ONS success. Researchers found that women are most satisfied when their partner was 8 inches or 21 centimeters taller. Men are most satisfied when they are 3 inches or 8 centimeters taller than their partners. Among men, 13.5% prefer to date only women shorter than them, but among women, about half prefer to date only men taller than them. 23% of men and 4% of women would accept a relationship where the woman was taller. Participants viewed short men as less socially attractive, less successful, less physically attractive, and less well-adjusted, and masculine than both average and tall men. The researchers state that shortness is more of a liability than tallness is an asset. 1 inch increase in height is associated with 1.4 to 2.9% increase in weekly earnings. Men taller than 6 foot 3 inches or 190 centimeters were 2 to 3 times more likely to obtain a higher education compared to men shorter than 5 foot 4 inches or 165 centimeters. There is no such thing as too tall. 6 foot 3 to 6 foot 5 is usually considered the ideal height. Beyond 6'5" is good as long as you don't have a deformed face or twig-like frame. Just read the comments of women lusting after this man, mainly due to his great stature.
That's two hands, any hours, that's two whatever the fuck.
Lifts are a good temporary fix that can grant you anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of height boost. Elevator shoes have thickened sections on the insoles under the heels to make you appear taller or elevate you, as the name suggests. They give you around 2 to 4 inches of additional height. Wear a monochromatic outfit with vertical stripes to give an illusion of being tall. Growing out your hair on top or wearing a hat can give you an additional inch or 2. Though not recommended, limb lengthening can be an option for some people. More of it in another video. Penis size is one of the most brutal Blackpills of all time. You can have a PSL 7 face, great physique, and height, but if you have a micro schlong, it's over. In this study, more men cited that the penis was too small as a problem rather than that the penis was too large. A man named Jonah Falcon has been able to sleep with A-list actors and celebrities just because of the size of his dick. Many of you would label him as a fat manlet, but his insane schlong size of 13.5 inches or 34.3 centimeters has allowed him to sleep with women many men can only dream of sleeping with. His exact size might be exaggerated, but the fact that his schlong size has helped him get laid still stands.
So, between the ages of 19 and 25, right. You were, as you would say yourself, pretty promiscuous.
Yeah.
Now, where did that come from? I mean, was that just you were just lucky with the ladies, or would you think having this extra large penis gave you confidence?
It was the latter. When I went to baseball camp when I was 18, they made a big deal about it, and then I realized, oh, okay, now I get it. And then I just went hog wild. And it was a typical thing, you know, that just experimentation just went.
Try jelqing if you want, but don't expect your penis to grow overnight. There's not much out there to support any result from this exercise. And if you're truly invested in increasing your penis size, there are much better options like using penis extenders and penis pumps. More of that in a separate video. Penis enlargement surgery is a high risk to reward and not recommended. Guys, most of the stuff is seen as cope or vastly underrated when in fact these things are scientifically proven to be extremely crucial and make a noticeable difference in your life. There are plenty of research articles, Tinder experiments, and personal anecdotes to prove their importance. Everyone should follow this guide to his utmost ability before even considering surgery. People here need to understand that sex appeal is the true king when it comes to looks. No woman wants a femboy with a micro penis fucking them. Sorry to break it, but saying muscles and dick don't matter is utter cope. You need dimorphism, masculinity, aesthetics, height, frame, physique. You need fucking sex appeal. As low sex appeal cucks, you will never elicit the same kind of primal sexual response these slayers do just for existing. If you find this video helpful, make sure you leave a like on the video and leave your thoughts in the comments below, as it helps the YouTube algorithm.